Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, wherever you're watching this from, whatever time. If you're new around here, hit the notification bell so you don't miss alerts. Please like the video and also subscribe to the channel as we are within touching distance of the 20,000 subs. It is turning into a very Spursy transfer window. Now, I know that there are many Spurs fans who hate the word Spursy, but if there was ever a word that associated a club with a meaning, it is Spursy. We look like we have no idea what is going on, no plan. And like everyone is starting to say, see, Savva, I told you, Savva, your optimism, Savva, was wrong. And I'm starting to believe they were right, because even a glass half full, if you want to call me that, even a pessimist like me, which is what they call me, even I was believing Spurs are moving different. Spurs are doing different things. This is going to be the window. We've got in a new CEO. He's going to be running day-to-day football operations. He's going to control the transfer budget. He's going to make sense of everything that's been wrong at Tottenham Hotspur, and he's going to take us to that promised land. They put out the PR video. Daniel Levy and Vinay both sitting, cuddling almost. You're the best. No, you're the best. All of that nonsense. And we're all sitting there going, right, okay, prove it. Prove that this is different. Prove that you care about the football club. Prove that what we won last year wasn't a one-off. Prove that you want Spurs to be with the big clubs, because that's what he said. Daniel Levy sat there and said, didn't he, at the after party after winning the Europa League, he said, this is the start of Spurs going to greatness, or whatever the word he said was, or joining the elite, something along those lines. And yet another window is here. And yet another set of frustrated Spurs fans are here. All of us, surely at this stage, are humiliated, frustrated, annoyed, angry. Some people just like the word meh, the old meh, because we've seen it all before. Kudus coming in, great signing. Everything else, Tell, young kid, dance, so we know's, going to be more a rotation player. Takai, we don't know anything about. And then you look at the clubs that apparently Daniel Levy wants to catch. Now, I'm not saying he wants to catch them right now, but you have to make strides towards catching these clubs. Those clubs are spending, some of them have now hit £200 million, and Liverpool are £295 million into their transfer window and are looking at buying Alexander Isak for 130 to 150 million, taking their spend to nearly 450 million. Now, I'll say this again loudly for those at the back. I'm not expecting Spurs to sign Florian Wirtz, Alexander Isak. I'm not even expecting Spurs to get players like Zubimendi at Arsenal, Gyökeres, who's signing for Arsenal today. But there are so many good footballers out there in the world that make Spurs better, that improve Spurs. Now, on the cold face, it doesn't look like we're doing anything. That's not to say that it's not happening behind the scenes. I can't sit here. None of us can sit there and say we know 100% what's going on. But what I do know is, what are we waiting for? What I do know is that it seems like we are dillying and dallying. It seems like we are procrastinating yet again in what is a vital transfer window for a season that is bringing us Champions League football. So why are Spurs so bad in transfer markets? Why are we so slow? Now, this isn't an attack on the club video. This is me asking the question, why are we? Why are these other clubs so prepared? Why have they got all their targets sorted, talking to, bids going in left, right, and centre? Why are we not that club? Why have we not learnt our lesson? And will it ever change? There are those that think it will never change. All the while that Levy's here. There are those that think Levy is not the problem and it's the big man. It's Joe Lewis. It's Enoch. They're the problem. Some are saying, well, what do you expect? The Arsenal fans told us that Vinay wasn't a very good CEO. Who do you believe? What's gone wrong? What's changed? Has anything changed? Now, what I will say is what the club can do is a couple of quick fire signings of quality can really, really change the mood amongst this fan base. It can really set the cat amongst the pigeons. It can shut up people like me and you lot who I know are all frustrated. It's not difficult, is it? Tottenham are a big club. No, we're not as big as Liverpool. We're not as big as the Chelseas and the Arsenals and the Cities at this moment. We can have the argument about oil money and history. Right now, we're not as big as those clubs, and I'm fine with that. But we're also bigger than other clubs that are going and making moves. We're also the club that needs to break into that. We're also the club that needs to put the pressure on those clubs. And we're nowhere near doing it. And what we're doing is we're sitting here at the moment and we're going to be expecting absolute miracles from Thomas Frank. And I don't associate any of the blame on Thomas Frank, by the way. You all know I'm a huge fan. And thank the footballing gods that we've got Thomas Frank, because we need a coach more than ever if we're not going to sign quality players. And Kudus alone is not enough. There's 11 positions on the football field, and we have strengthened one of them. Now, am I panicking? Are any of you panicking? There are people that say that. Don't worry, you're being reactionary. Let's have a look. 19 days to the Super Cup. 19 days to the Super Cup. Less than 3 weeks, and we play PSG in a Super Cup final. Surely you want your players in by then. Surely. And in between them, we play Wickham and Luton tomorrow. We play Bayern Munich, Newcastle, Arsenal on pre-season tour. Surely you wanted your players in ready for those games. Surely for once we wanted to prevent piss poor planning. Surely we wanted for once to be the team that we said, we are organised, we're ready to go. We've backed a manager. We've given him what he needs to start the season and hit the ground running. But 19 days. Now let's go one further. It's 22 days until the Premier League starts. So we play PSG on the Wednesday, and then on the Saturday, we play Burnley at home in the Premier League. Surely to goodness, you have your players in place ready for that. Don't you? Don't we as a club? And then 38 days. 38 days until the transfer window closes. Now, the transfer window closing for most clubs, they've done their business by then. Most of the bigger clubs would have done their business. There might be the odd deal that drops in. For Spurs, this is apparently when we come alive. Some say it doesn't matter as long as they're in by then. But by then, we've played a few Premier League games. I think it's 3 Premier League games we would have played by this date. So I'll ask again, is it ever going to change? Are we suddenly going to see a couple of signings in the next week or two? Do Spurs make signings whilst we're on pre-season tour? I'm going to ask you right now, hands up if you're frustrated. Hands up if you're calm. Seen people saying they're calm about it. I just don't see how we're falling further and further and further behind. We did all that hard work to get in the top for so many years. And now we're just going like that. And even if we're not going like that, the big clubs are going like that, aren't they? Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, City are all strengthening magnificently. Now Newcastle might lose Isak. They're going to have maybe 150, 200 million to spend on players. So what are they going to do? How much stronger are they going to be? It's very deflating. And I want to sit here. I want to do positive videos about Kudus signing, Gibbs White signing. But all I've got for you transfer-wise is this. All I've got is this. Fabrizio Romano last night saying that LAFC have already presented their initial proposal to Heung-min's son as the new star of their project. Decision up to Son as he will speak to Thomas Frank and clarify his future as soon as possible. Spurs will let Son decide about his next step. No. Move him on. Build. Move him on. Get some money in. Go and get a top left-sided player to play with Kudus and Solanke. Come on. Let's act like the big club. He's been brilliant for Tottenham as Son. He's been superb. But everything must come to an end. And if not, we keep him for another year. His contract runs out. He leaves on a free. And then next year, us as fans, we're sitting there saying, where's the money to buy a new player? Well, the money can be there this window. Even if it's 20 million, it's 20 million compared to 0. Spurs need to make this decision. Surely Spurs make it. Say, Sonny, thank you for everything, but we want to accept this offer. Do you want to go? Now, whether or not he wants to go, completely different story. Why not? End your career. Go and be the superstar of the MLS. Go and compete with Messi. Go and compete with those players. And then, if that wasn't enough, the other news today, the only bit of news I can give you, this has been flying around the internet all day today. Here we go. Where are we? Oh, Alistair Gold. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. It's been flying around the internet all day today about Mikey Moore apparently wanting to go on loan. I don't know if that's true, by the way, people. I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and pretend I know that this is true. I'm not going to pretend that it's true. But if it is, good. Go out on loan. Get game time. Go and learn the game of football. Go and be a man. Come back a man. Come back bigger, better. More games under your belt. 90 minutes, whether it's a Millwall that we're hearing about, whether it's a team in the Championship, the League One. Go and get your game time, Mikey. He's 17. There is no rush. But again, it says he's going to speak to Thomas Frank to decide what happens. Apparently, he wants football week in, week out. We'll see. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on Son, on Moore. Would you sell Son? Would you loan out Moore? If that does happen, then surely we need a left-sided player. Surely Spurs are going to act sooner rather than later. Enjoy your Friday evenings. As I said, hit the notification bell, smash the like button, and if you're new around here, smash the subscribe button. Have a lovely Friday. I'll see you tomorrow for not 1, but 2 watch-alongs starting at 10 a.m. Much love. Take care. And as always, come on, you Spurs.